All right, so now we're going to get into the actual project. We're going to start messing with the Wi-Fi here. Now, if you installed your board correctly, which none of this should have really worked if you didn't, you should have gotten some extra libraries. So to include these libraries, we're going to come up here before the setup and define some things that need to be loaded in before the setup and the loop run. We're going to include, which is done with the hash and include, and then the library. So we're first going to include the Wi-Fi library for the ESP, and then we're going to include the HTTP client also. So we need these two in here, and that is all we need to start working with the Wi-Fi chip. Now there's two more lines we're going to put in here before the setup runs. We're going to define two constant variables that include your Wi-Fi ID and your Wi-Fi password. And I'm going to copy and paste this over here from my cheat sheet that you guys can't see. So you put the ID, this would be, when you go to connect to Wi-Fi, what shows up to connect to your router. You're going to type that in here, and then your Wi-Fi password. Now, for probably obvious reasons, I'm going to black out mine, and then probably for the remainder of the video, once this sketch gets a little bit bigger, I just won't scroll back up to that, so that we can keep running this script without me having to keep worrying about adding or removing that. So I've got mine in there. Now we need to do just a couple of things to set up the Wi-Fi. So down here in the setup, let's go ahead. I'm going to copy this and paste it below, but I'm going to change this actually to print ln, and that's for print a whole line. Otherwise we would keep tacking on to the same line. And I'm going to change this to ln as well, and then we're going to change the text here. This isn't really necessary, but why not? To connecting. Then we're going to access the Wi-Fi object and run the begin method here, which is going to take that SSID and password. So this will trigger the Wi-Fi chip to try and connect to your router. So as long as you have the correct ID in there and the correct password, then it should work. Now we're going to go ahead and verify that it's working, and to do that we're going to run a while loop. So this loop's going to run over and over until we connect, and that's different than the loop below. That loop below won't start yet until this finishes, and if it doesn't finish, then you'll just never connect and the loop will never run. But we're going to run the status method and see if it returns WL connected. So this will just continue to go over and over. We're going to go ahead and put just a little delay in it to give it a second to chill out. Just for fun, we're going to output to the serial monitor. Print period. So this is just going to go dot, 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 dot until we're connected. So it's kind of like a little status indicator. Now, assuming this while loop ended, that means that we did connect. So we'll go ahead and, again for fun, we will print out a line. So print ln, and just say that the Wi-Fi is connected. And lastly, let's go ahead and print one more line. We aren't necessarily going to use this in this tutorial, but this is handy for future reference. We're going to access the local IP method here, and this is just going to spit out the IP that was assigned by your router. So if you actually wanted to run like a little server with this, this is kind of the opposite of what we're doing. We're pulling information in, but if you wanted to actually make information available on your network, it's handy to know what the IP address is of the device. So it's pretty cool though. You've now created a device that is connected to your internet or your Wi-Fi, and by proxy your internet. So let's go ahead and do this. So if we've done everything correctly, then we can save this and upload it, and everything else should run. It might be a little bit slower, like the light's going to turn off, and we're going to wait until the Wi-Fi is connected. And when the Wi-Fi is connected, we'll get a little message. We'll get the IP address of the device, and then our loop will start. So we'll know that it's connected both by the serial monitor and the LED light blinking on and off, which this could be handy if you were not plugged into your computer. If you upload this to the board and then unplug it from your computer and plug it into a wall, the fact that the light started blinking means that that while loop completed and the Wi-Fi connected. So it's kind of handy. You don't actually need the serial monitor at that point to know if it worked or not. If the light never starts, then you know there was an issue with the Wi-Fi. So let's go ahead and upload Control U. And since we added those libraries, that's why this is taking a little bit longer. At least I'm assuming that's why, based on the notice down there in the console. Alright, lights on. That means the board got power again. And now the sketch is being uploaded. Lights off. And we're connected. That was pretty quick. So we've connected to our Wi-Fi. Device is now on the network. And that is the IP address that is assigned to it.